not going to disagree with your premise at all. No, I don't disagree with your premise at all. I actually agree with you, but the thing is that in order for that argument to be really true, and you're asking like, well, just what is it? Everything's great. No, we start with the truth, and we start with really defining words, and then operating off those definitions, so we're all on the same sheet of music. So that's all. It was just a challenge on that, not a challenge on your premise. I actually agree overall with your premise, but we have to first really accurately define that if we're going to govern society by it, so we're all on the same sheet of music.
I agree, because most people who believe in God are fucking morons. But I'm also okay with that too. I'm like okay with. I don't mind sharing the world with morons. Especially if their imaginary God's a good one. Fuck, he's keeping them in check.
Yeah, he is a good one. I mean, you're able to recognize the love for your kids and your wife, and you're also able to recognize the beauty in creation, so you understand that men are men and women are women, regardless of what they may think. You know, there is a coherence to the world that we can understand, and I don't think that coherence would exist if the world were merely a scientific accident and not the result of a loving creator who made us in his image.
Hey,
and so, go ahead.
I had a friend who was taking this. I think it was a boot camp. I can't remember. It couldn't have been. I was at UC Santa Barbara, and one of my friends was taking this class, and it wasn't oat camp, but it was talking about basically the 7 major evolutionary steps in this species, like if you believe in evolution. And one of them, like the second or third, like biggest leap that creatures took on the planet, and this was even before there were plants on the planet, these were just creatures in the ocean, was the mollusk had its ass in front of its mouth. And so if it was like traveling, it would shit, and then its mouth would run over its poop. And a major evolutionary leap in creatures on the planet was when the mouth was put in front of the anus, so that it no longer did that. It was like, and you can see that. That's one of the hallmarks of like this evolution that scientists can see. Scientists. I'm sorry I used that word. But now, here we are in 2022, and fucking they've decriminalized defecating and littering in public in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's once again okay to shit where you eat.
People do that out here. It's crazy.
Hey, for those of you who believe that the polio vaccine worked, you have done zero reading on it, and you've looked at zero of the numbers and stats. Zero. All you fucking doctors out there, scientists, go get a book on the polio vaccine and start reading about it. It was because people were fucking. It was so obviously a sanitary issue. So obvious it was a sanitary issue. All you have to do is look at the fucking graphs. Polio was on a massive decline once they fucking put in some sanitation laws long before the vaccine came out. We've known forever the measles vaccine doesn't work. Just look at fucking how the LA Times reported a measles outbreak in Disneyland a couple of years ago. Hey, as soon as Sevan, I know you said you didn't want to talk about CrossFit games on this call show, but that last call was absolutely. I think the one we're still on.
Is he talking about my call?
I don't know.
I think your call is great. I love these discussions, and you can really tell listening and whose mind is open because I think I'm trying to push some sort of agenda other than everybody defining it or is it becoming on the same sheet of music.
Well, will you unfuck me about the law? I know we had a back and forth on YouTube, so tell me where I have it wrong about the law.
Because you acknowledge, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I at least sense that you acknowledge that abortion is the killing of an innocent human life.
Yeah. I don't know if I would use those words, but yes. Yes. I think that even though I am pro-choice, it's fucking insane to think for people on the left to be mad at people at the right for wanting to stop abortion. Like, what? These people are trying to stop shit from being killed.
But that's
and they're extremely racist too, because basically the vast majority of the fucking people who are pro-abortion are like, hey, being born a black child is a life of incredible suffering, and so black people should have complete access to killing their babies, and then you see it's disparate. It's fucking nuts. All their premises are so grossly racist. It's fucking disgusting. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
More black babies are aborted in New York City than are born. So to your point, but
Fucking
what I was saying,
nuts. And I'm okay with that if you want to do that. But the fucking pro-choice people need to stop fucking saying that because being born a black person is such a struggle that they don't fucking deserve to live and they have the option to die. Fuck you. I would fucking way rather be born into a life of massive struggle. I want a shot. You want a shot, Will? You want a shot, Will?
Yeah, I got one. I'm blessed enough to have one.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I want a fucking shot. Fuck you for fucking thinking it's okay to fucking kill me because of the color of my skin, and then you think it's gonna be hard for me to fuck a hard life.
下午3点，压力闪边，让立顿茶追泪。
There you go.
Yep.
Getting all wound up. One of those kids could win the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, for real. I mean, the only thing I'll say is, if you think there is something wrong, then it is not absurd to think our laws should reflect what is right and wrong. Just like we should have laws that prevent children from getting gender transition surgery because it is wrong. It is by all objective measures bad for that to happen.
I can't even believe that. I can't even believe that that's a possibility.
But it's freedom, Stefan. It's their choice, right? and so it is illogical to simply say because someone feels differently, we should have a law that allows it. Because there are a lot of things that people may be inclined to do that our laws thankfully prohibit. And my only contention is abortion should be one of those things our laws prohibit because it is objectively wrong to kill an innocent human life.
Right. I mean, I hear you on that, and you're right. I just can't go with it because I just cannot put a law on a woman's body. I just cannot. But let me ask you this. So this is the part I was tripping about. This is the part where we were fighting on YouTube about it. I was saying that basically the Democrats should be exceedingly happy because Roe versus Wade was overturned, because what that's done is that's taken the power away from the federal government to say whether abortions are legal or illegal. Of course, they're just frustrated. It's like Godzilla comes into your town and fucking kills all the people you don't like. Well, you shouldn't be happy there's a Godzilla. Next time he comes, he could fucking kill you. That's just fucking like idiot thinking. You should be like, oh, fuck. That's not good. So basically when Roe versus Wade was turned over, I would think that the libs would be like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. Now that same court can't, based on their decision, they can't make abortion illegal. They're saying it's not in the choice of the federal government. And I thought you were saying that I'm not looking at that, Russ.
All the court ruled in Dobbs v. Jackson is that a right to abortion is not found in the United States Constitution.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
Yes, great.
But
Yes.
that doesn't mean a future court or the U.S. Congress
Of course.
could not perhaps find a right to life applicable to all persons born and unborn.
Yeah.
That protects babies in the womb.
How does the Constitution not do that? How does the Constitution not do that?
I mean, I think it does. The 14th Amendment guarantees equal protection to life for all persons. That's a quote, to all persons in the United States.
And you may say, let's say you're crazy pro-choice. You may say, says, soon as that there's a precedent that you can kill an unborn baby or a fetus or a baby in the mom's stomach, you're setting precedent to kill other people too. I'm anti death penalty too. That's fucking nuts for two fucking reasons. One, if you kill someone, you created a murderer. I'm not in the business of fucking creating murderers. Sorry, kiddo. U.S. military. And the second thing is I'm not. The courts are going to be wrong a huge percentage of the time. We're gonna accidentally kill. We're gonna accidentally kill innocent people. Can't do that.
I largely agree with you. I agree with you from a policy perspective, but there is a world where you might have to kill someone to protect other people.
I understand. I understand.
Right. So the death penalty in of itself is not intrinsically evil. It's not intrinsically wrong. Because there is a way where because there is a world where perhaps someone has been a serial killer on the outside and then has been a threat to the people inside prison. And this is a rare circumstance. I think the death penalty is far too common.
Hey, what if I kill someone in my
let's
say you came to my house and I killed you, then it's not all of a sudden the court case is whether I was justified in killing you or not. Right?
Right. If
you come into my house, I'm
protecting yourself and your family.
Yeah, my first thought, if anyone comes to my house, anything, like I look at a cricket in my house, I'm like, everything goes through one litmus test. Could you hurt my kids? And the second thing, what are the chances of you hurting my kids? That's how I look at everything. My wife buys a new knife and brings it home. I look at that knife. Susan comes over. I look at him. Like my mom comes over. What plus or negative to my kids? Everything has to go through that filter. And if there's a tiny bit of threat that you could kill my kids, I will fucking kill you. Like I just come over with a piece of Kleenex and yesterday I fucking ended Jerusalem cricket was in my kid's bed. I ended his life. That hurt because it has the word Jerusalem in it.
The identification of that insect.
I love it, Jew. All right, Will, thank you.
Well, great discussion.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Love what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Caleb, stay safe over there. Yeah, plenty of issues. Love what you guys do this weekend, too.
Thanks, Phil.
I blasted. Go ahead, Susie. I know you have something to say.
No. I was just saying that those types of conversations are great because we should be processing, debating, giving stuff people to think about, and before everybody starts to jump to like what we're insinuating, what he's insinuating, you should just sit, listen, process, take all that information in and formulate. So I think those type of discussions, especially when there's a disagreement as we try to reach our points, are really good. And so much in today's society, everybody's like, don't disagree, don't defend. And it's like,
this is a FaceTime video call. Can I do that?
whoa, that's crazy.
I don't think.
I'm just cracking up at these comments about Caleb over here. They're hilarious.
Huh? I did a little stand-up bit tossing Craig Ritchie around the other day, metaphorically. I never toss him around physically. But I just tossed him around on the show, just basically talking about his content and how it doesn't sit well with me. And someone sent me this in my DMs, and I want to read it. I thought it was pretty insightful. Here's some perspective Sevon on Craig Ritchie's vlog. His early videos were all in the gym, his journey with CrossFit, learning movement, the frustrations we all went through when we first started. It was educational. For someone getting into CrossFit for the first time and after an injury, it gave me a glimpse into the community before I had the confidence to go myself. It's all awesome. I got my first ring muscle up after watching one of his videos on ring muscle ups and how he learned them. Fuck, now I'm starting to feel better. The vlog has evolved largely because of COVID shutdowns in the UK into more of a lifestyle and less gym athlete content. But now I'm 4 years into it and I'm getting to know Craig and...
No, wrong time.
想靠近去开心口臭，露齿笑去牙龈丑丑，牙周氏全新沁然薄荷漱口水，锁定牙菌波，穿透式除菌。
你有看到吗
？3倍除菌量，牙周氏深度护龈零死角，微皮口臭和牙龈问题，牙医推荐品牌牙周氏。
不拿嘴出力，不让酸痛打扰你。肩颈酸痛不。
我就买一个鸡腿
JAS. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing that's his wife. Yeah. Okay. Craig and Jas, to a point where the personal content, their dogs, for example, are just part of it. I've tried to turn friends onto their channel and they share your perspective. I don't think I would enjoy their content if I found it right now. But having watched since the beginning, my expectation and enjoyment of their content has evolved with them. God, I'm a piece of shit. Generally speaking, I create CrossFit content, glimpses into athletes' lives, and there aren't enough people producing that sort of content. Fine. Okay, I lose you.
Hello?
Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Ooh, beta blockers are working.
Hey. Yeah, so, hey man, my name is Charlie. Hey, sorry to change the topic on you guys, but I've heard you guys quite often talk about like the history of Rogue and the founders of Rogue, and then I heard you shit on Noble quite a bit. I've been as a fan fascinated to watch the growth of like the companies that have come out of CrossFit. I'd love to hear you guys talk a bit more about like how those brands, like the founding stories of those brands and how that came to be, and why like, you know, CrossFit was so happy to work with Rogue, but not happy to work with Reebok and all that sort of stuff.
How did you get the name Charlie?
What? That's there, you know.
You made that your grandpa or something?
No, just sort of sounds good.
Yeah, it's a good name. And do they call you Charles or do they call you Charlie?
No, Charles. Hey, Charles.
And you live in the UK?
No. I'm Australian, but I live in America.
It's a
Yeah,
oh, someone says this is Craig Ritchie. Craig, is this you?
No, definitely not. No, man. I'm one of the bastards signed to Australia, not the UK.
You know, I would love to have Bill Henniger on. I would love to have Katie on. They're amazing people. I don't know if it's my place to tell. I know it's not my place, but most of the shows. But I guess I don't want to sell their shit short. It is a true fucking amazing story that they did. I mean, they come from absolutely nothing, dirt fucking poor. Now, I don't know too much about Bill's background, but Katie is a fucking really hardworking talent. I mean, I think she was just put to the Hall of Fame for Ohio State for basketball. And Bill was just a fucking regular dude like fucking toilet here, just a dude in the military. Welded a fucking pull-apart together and started selling.
So how did it come together that like CrossFit and Rogue became like a strong partnership?
That dude had a CrossFit gym, and one of his clients was Katie, and she was a CrossFit Games champ. And then he started putting it to her, and they got married, became boyfriend and girlfriend, or whatever they are, and they became a power team. And they're especially him, he's very stoic, and basically just through handshakes, he's gangster. You have to remember, like, these fucking people are gangster. Like him, Greg Glassman, Dave Castro, and I mean gangster in the most, like in the movie terms. Like shit gets done. Like Dave's family has a crazy past. Greg has a crazy past. These are people who did business on fucking handshakes and eye contact.
Yeah.
And that's all that shit. But they're fucking grinders, right? I mean, Dave comes from a very fucking... People like Dave who turn into SEAL Team 6 operators, like this is... People like Bill who become, Bill for sure, who become owners of a $1 billion company that they built from scratch. There's no comparison between them, Rogue and Noble. Noble's a paper house compared to what Rogue is. Like, it's like Facebook. Facebook could be gone tomorrow. It's nothing. Rogue is like real. Rogue is sex.
It makes sense, right?
Facebook is is genitalia. It's like Rogue, like you can go and see their 600,000 square foot facility and see the 1,000 employees and the blowtorches and shit.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, right? Because like when it comes to any business, like if the founders are there, they're mission oriented, they start their company to solve a problem they truly care about, and then once the founders leave, right, it all falls apart. And that's usually the saying. If Noble is what you say it is, then it was just a brand that was created to take advantage of an opportunity. It wasn't created because they believed in the mission.
I
So
think they
and then
made
that's
the
why,
name before the product. I think they're like, oh, we have this great name for, this is the way I've heard the story. We have this great name for a company, Noble. And then they're like, fuck, what are we going to make?
Yeah,
I think that, and I think that's true. I've heard it a bunch.
Yeah.
I have this
And that's kind of
amazing
like
dick.
why,
What am I going to do with it? I never think that. I'm always like, fuck, I'm horny. And then I'm like, well, I got this dick. I guess it'll express it. Or maybe I'll do something stupid like turn up my radio really loud and drive down the street trying to impress girls. But I don't buy the radio and then be like, I'm gonna use this to get pussy. Like it doesn't. I don't work like that. That's I feel like noble. You got it back. I never wake up in the morning and look at my dick and be like, man, I really need to use this today. Never. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't know if that metaphor sits well with you or that's simile, but it sits well.
That's good. So what's the story with what's more story with CrossFit? So with Reebok. So how come the original crew was so happy to work with Rogan stuff that like had such big problems with Reebok?
Why did CrossFit HQ have problems with Reebok as opposed to we never had problems with Rogue?
Yeah.
Because Reebok was just they're corporate sellouts. Like they're not gangster. They're not gangster. They're complete fucking corporate sellouts. Thousands of pages contract. As soon as we signed with them, they put out a shoe that they claimed would make your butt firmer if you wore it. This is and they just went to business with the first guy on earth who defined fitness with a scientific definition: observable, repeatable, measurable. Dude, it's even crazy. I was thinking about maybe I should do a show in the middle of the week this week that like 99% of people at CrossFit Games don't even know what CrossFit is. They don't even know why they're mesmerized by it. About how what really happened and what they really have been sucked into. I mean, I think if you stick around long enough, everyone eventually gets it. But if he wouldn't have defined it, this shit never happens. Never, ever happens. And people don't realize that. I guarantee the people who bought the company don't realize it. Yeah, Reebok agrees to $25 million settlement, and so we were fucked from day one. We had no chance of getting along. It's like dating a girl who's batshit crazy, but she's so hot, and you're just like, I mean, that's what it was. I think they were just excited that a shoe company was interested in us. We'd have to ask.
Dog shit, too.
Hey, but they did make the Nano too, and fuck man, that shoe's amazing. And I'm so thankful for it. Greg went to Harvard Business School. And spoke every year for like 5 years in a row. And every year he started the fucking lecture by defining to these kids what fucking business was, because they didn't know. They think their definition of business was so fucked up. And he would that's the balls that Greg had on. He would fucking define it for him. Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, the kids in Australia, they have an expression for kids to do MBA. They call it second chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like, oh, you didn't start your own business as a founder. You got to get an MBA so you can go run somebody else's business.
I think Harvard may have a book that requires those guys there now to sign the code of ethics. I don't know if they follow it, but.
So now that Greg lost his like the view that he created to complete this mission that he's on a mission to solve, do you have any idea, or are you allowed to publicly say like how he's fulfilling that mission these days?
Yeah, basically he's basically transcended it. Now basically everything he learned about defining terms, he's brought to science, and he's making right now a curriculum. He's making a curriculum, a movie, a fucking book, a lecture, all the things you need to explain to people what is science. And in a nutshell, because we live on a planet with people who use the word science and don't know what it means. But in a nutshell, science is what it allows us to predict things. That's all it is. It allows us to predict things. So anyone that believes science is like real that doesn't know what science is. Science is just believing what offers the greatest predictive value, and tomorrow it can change, and we're open to it changing tomorrow. But it has to have predictive value. So like climate science, it's complete fucking horseshit. The prediction of climatology and global warming and all that shit. If you're a scientist, maybe it's happening, but if you're saying, and why is that? Because it hasn't been able to predict the future, and when you use the models they've created to look at the past, it doesn't predict the past. So I'll give you an example. I can predict you when Halley's Comet is going to come next, right? It's going to come in 66 years, 3 weeks, 2 hours, and 7 minutes. I can use that same model that I used to predict when Halley's Comet is going to come to tell you when it's been here. It's a scientific predictive model that can look both forward and backward in time. There was no science around COVID. There's no science around the vaccine. They offered no predictive value that was greater than chance. Meaning, if the people who now didn't get the vaccine have a greater chance of survival, but the science around the vaccine was supposed to make it so that you had a greater chance of surviving. That was the predictive value of the vaccine. So there's all these people. Oh, it's not till 2061.
It's a little long, but it's okay.
I should learn that. So every time I use that example, I do that. So that's what he's doing. He's everything I just told you right there, he's basically taught me by chewing my ear off for 2 hours a day every day for the fucking last year. And he's meeting with the smartest minds all over the fucking world once again. He's doing it with people from Hillsdale College, Stanford, Harvard, fucking you name it. And it's all these people are like, because they know Greg has the balls to do it. So and these are some of the most published scientists in the world, like John Ioannidis, etc. Go ahead, sorry.
So what's his plan for the final deliverables? So it's like a movie and a course. Is he gonna influence?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a college course, an elementary school course. I think he's gonna make this curriculum so that it's consumable by anyone. Yeah, incredible book. And the best thing about this, what he's offering, once Greg teaches you this, you're armed to the gills. So you could go there and the doctor could be like, hey, I think you should take these statins. You'd be like, why? And he goes, because they help people with get over high cholesterol. And you can say, there's the absolute or relative value. And then the doctor will be like, I don't know. And they can point me to the study so I can look myself. And then next thing you know, just by asking questions, you're going to realize, oh, it's a lot.
And the doctor gets delivered or
Yeah.
you, and then you get out of his office.
Yeah.
This book I
Yeah,
have
it's gonna be like Seinfeld. You can't go to a doctor anywhere because you have to hand all over the place.
I got this book pulled up. I don't know if you could see it called, but it's called Rigor Mortis: How Sloppy Science Makes Worthless Years, Crushes Hope, and Wastes Billions. And I strongly suggest everybody who's watching this go check that book out. You can listen to it or you can read it. It's fascinating, but it talks about what Stefan was just talking about.
Greg bought this book for every single member who wanted it, who worked at CrossFit HQ, including the entire L1 team.
Yeah, I bought it for him. I saw it.
You'll love this book. Caller, thanks for calling.
They're probably got cheating.
Thank you.
Funny, because when I talk to the doctors that I work with, I'll tell them, like, hey, why don't we just tell them to work out or change their diet or whatever it is, and they're like, oh, you mean preventative medicine? I'm like, no, that's not what I mean at all. They're just so baffled that like anybody would even think of that. They're like, no, just fucking getting this out and they're getting Tylenol or fucking whatever. You could give them so many other things that don't change their body chemistry, but you decide to just prescribe some medication and set them on the way.
Wouldn't it be crazy if you went to see like a doctor or something like a mental health professional and they're like, okay, we understand, but before we start this session, I'm gonna start this timer. You're gonna do 50 burpees as fast as you can. Then we're gonna talk about how you feel. You ready? Okay, go. And then they just like blast through the burpees and they're like, all right, now let's sit down and talk. It would change a lot of stuff.
Those that didn't have myocarditis. Sorry, go ahead, kid. Devin, hi.
Hi, it's actually Jeff.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Oh, Jeff.
Like Jeff, like Jessica?
Oh, Jeff.
Perfect.
I identify as a
Hi,
woman.
Jeff.
Sorry, we freak out when there's a female voice on the line. We don't know what to do.
I know, there's not a lot of us that call in, but I've been a long time listener, so I always enjoy hearing you guys and just appreciate all your content. Yeah. And I wanted to tell you that I've listened to you for like over a year. When you first started actually doing podcasts again. And I'm back in the CrossFit gym and working with nutritionists now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Hey, what gym are you? What state are you in?
I'm in Santa Barbara.
Oh,
A couple times on
Awesome.
and stuff.
are you born and raised?
No, I was born in like a cornfield outside of Chicago,
Okay.
but I'm out here and
Is Dick Mertens
yeah.
your dad?
What was that?
Is Dick Mertens your dad?
You know he's not.
Okay.
But could have been. Could have been.
Hey, how did you end up in Santa Barbara? Did you go to school there?
No, my husband got a job up here, and we're living in Ventura, so you have to either drive an hour each way or move here.
Yeah.
So we moved here.
Did you get a good
And then he
spot?
lost his job. He lost his job 2 weeks after we moved here. So then, yeah, it was crazy. But we're spiders, you just gotta keep going. Can't let little things keep you down. But
How long have you been there?
for like 4 years now.
Do you guys are you gonna stay there?
I mean, I'm going to be a nurse now, so I'm into the nursing program. My husband just bought a business here.
Okay.
He just took over a business from my partner, so we keep doing things that like are going to keep us here, but it's so expensive.
Do you have kids?
No, not yet. That's what I'm working on. That's why I, got to get the health in order, and that's the next goal.
Project? Go to a
Yeah,
CrossFit
that's
gym
next
and then
project.
start humping your husband and then have a baby. It's a pretty good plan. I mean, I like the.
Yeah.
Suze always talks to me about the order. It's important to have like the order in which you do things are important.
Right.
And not only is being healthy important to having a baby, but it'll keep you sane during your pregnancy and after you have the kid. I mean, really working out is like, it really is a therapy for me and my wife. I think that whenever
sure.
my wife says I'm going to go work out, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Or whenever I say I'm going to work out, babe, I think it's like, ooh. It's like, your mate's taking their meds.
Right. And it was, before I got back to the gym, I honestly couldn't get down on the ground and get back up very easily. And last week I just did like 5 something burpees for the first time. And I know that sounds so pathetic, but it's such a big deal,
No, I'm still
Your body starts coming back
That's
together.
awesome. That's not pathetic at all. That's awesome.
Hey, how many days a week are you going?
I go 3 days a week right now. 'Cause I have a couple injuries too, so it's kind of like you gotta push and then come back and push and come back. So I go 3 days a week solid, and then I walk my dog the other day.
Oh, that's good. Do you like the staff at the gym?
Oh, it is such a good gym. If you're ever in, you need to go. It's Pacific Coast CrossFit, and they're just such a well-run organization.
I've been there before with Greg. We went there.
Oh, it's the owners right now are Danielle and Kim.
Uh-huh.
So good.
Hey, that's what you need too. You know when like there's a cute guy in one of your classes and like that's the only reason why you go to class, and it's just the excuse to go, right? Or if there's a coffee shop on the way of somewhere you have to go that you never want to go, you stop at the coffee shop and it makes everything better. That and gyms like that too. You need people there that you're like almost more excited to see than the working out. And then you get there and you're like, oh, I guess I'm gonna work out too.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I'm like excited to go there and see other people, and yeah, it's just awesome. I'm so happy to be back. And I honestly, if I hadn't been like listening to you talk about it for the past year every day, I probably wouldn't have never made it back. So we really are helping people out there.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. It makes my day. I'm not just saying that lightly. I will, when I leave here, I'll probably my dad's coming to visit me today. I'll probably brag to him.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
I was heading to the life of diabetes, chronic health issues. Well, trying to be a nurse, kind of around it, or trying to stick around, and the ship's turning around now, and I'm just like, I couldn't be more happy. So I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Congratulations, Jessica.
Congrats,
Thank you. All
Okay.
right.
Bye.
Have fun, guys. Bye.
Thanks for sharing.
Jerry Garcia about to get some CEO.
Yes, sir. Paper Street Food Coffee. All in town. Yeah, for
Thanks for
sure.
having me already.
So that's why you open an affiliate.
Yep.
Like there's no that can never get old. So imagine you're an affiliate owner and you're going and you're like, fuck, I'm done. I'm shutting this place down. And one client comes in there and is like, holy shit, you saved my life. That client just fuck you. You'll probably keep your doors open another year because that person said that to you.
And stuff like that is so fulfilling. Like I've been lucky enough to land some big contracts with these checks, and it's still nothing like builds you up emotionally and everything, like hearing stuff like that or seeing people's success and just have to tell you how much it's turned their life out to people around them. It's crazy.
I'm gonna send. Well, maybe I can just play it. Tell her to send us a message. Oh, I should have. Jessica, you're in California, so you can get free blood work from California Hormones if you want. You can get free doctor's consult. Just use the code 7. Hey, so. Oh, Sarah, I gotta tell you something. Okay, so I did an interview. This isn't what I'm gonna tell you, Sarah. I'm gonna call it tell you. I did an interview with this guy, Mr. Dorst, from CrossFit TYL in Iowa. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to see it. And the day after I did the interview with him, by the way, a lot of people reached out, especially strong people like Greg Howard, who's like, hey, give me this dude's contact number. I want to help him get the resources to start a business, which is pretty fucking cool. But I want to show you, Greg Howard owns Diablo CrossFit. I want to show you, isn't it fucking ironic? Craig Howard owns Diablo fucking CrossFit. He watched the video of a fucking struggling affiliate owner. He reaches out and says, hey, I want to be put in contact with that guy so I can help save his business. And yet this is the same guy that because he left his doors open during the pandemic and was fined tens of thousands of dollars from the city on the creek, CrossFit HQ took away, under Rose's leadership, took away his field rep. He was supposed to be the guy that's the go-to in Northern California for other affiliates to come and talk to. But because he didn't do what the company wanted to, is follow your city's policies and shut your doors, they took away that job from him. You understand what I'm saying? He told the city of Walnut Creek, fuck you, I'm staying open. He took the fines. And Rosa and his cronies over there at CFHQ were like, well, we're trying to do some political maneuvering here, and if you fight back against the city, we might not get our tens of hundreds of billions of dollars issued to us by Congress.
And the other thing
So he's like, fuck you, I'm staying open.
And the other thing about that story too is when he started to get fines, without his knowledge, his members went and started a GoFundMe to help support and pay those fines. And when he realized what was happening and he paid the money, he goes, "Hey guys, like I really appreciate this, but we don't need this, or I don't need this. We're okay. We can take care of it." And then he turned around and he paid for affiliateships for other struggling gyms. He paid for tents so that way they could operate outside, because the counties are really strict, and gave that money to the community of CrossFit gyms that he was responsible for.
He raised money and then paid the fines for other gyms that stayed open. And part of that money that he raised was a donation that came from fucking Miranda and Julian Alcaraz, the founders of Street Parking, not affiliated with CrossFit anymore at all. Might as well just see CrossFit as the enemy. And she gave $5,000